All right, hello everyone. We're going to get started in just a second here. I just wanted to kind of jump into this. This is kind of just, I think it's news. I think a lot of people might think it's not news, but just over the last, several days or weeks, we've seen a lot of little changes that Tesla is starting to kind of do, and it does lead me to believe that there's about to be maybe something as big as a car sharing network. Maybe it means robotaxi, but I want to get into it. So. First of all, basically, as you may or may not already know, we own and operate a small fleet of Tesla vehicles here in the San Francisco Bay Area. I'm working with a few friends to host, across basically the Pacific Northwest as well. We've got some cars in Portland and some cars in Seattle, and we're just collecting kind of data about that as we plan to get several more vehicles in the future. And so with that, we are experimenting with Turo. We've got almost all those vehicles operating on Turo, being our primary means of sharing our vehicles with the public. Turo is great. I highly recommend it as a guest. And generally speaking, if you have a car that you're not using to its full utilization of what you could be, Turo is a great option to make a little bit of money from that car. And generally speaking, I'm a big fan of it. There's also other platforms such as Getaroud. In my experience, Getaroud it wasn't quite as good for like luxury cars, and actually in recent times they removed them. But as we all know, Tesla is planning on making their cars their goal is to make them fully autonomous. The cars that you're buying today, you can buy a full self-driving package, which has the intent to enable it for truly full self-driving for what effectively amounts to a robotaxi. So that's really exciting. But what we're here to talk about today is something that I just kind of discovered, along with kind of just some things that are just out there publicly. So first of all, one thing that with my Turo experience is, roughly every single day or every single week, I have to actually account for supercharging. So when people go out and use my cars, I don't have free supercharging. I know a lot of hosts do, and so I have to actually go back in and see where do they charge and how much does that cost and bill them for that. And it's not really, there's actually quite a bit of friction there. And it's not a lot of work, but it's just the least fun part of sharing my car. And it's definitely something that has to be done. And so I get my cars back. Generally speaking, they're clean, they're charged. I've had a really good experience. So the majority of my labor is in the billing of the supercharging. So, I'm seeing a couple people jumping on. And hi guys. So feel free to comment if you have any thoughts along the way. But I'm seeing Tesla is basically opening this up and making it more accessible, more simple to actually process. So what does that mean? So let me see if I can actually share my screen here. Let me jump over to the Safari window. So let's add a screen here. Sorry, I'm just kind of doing this last minute. It looks like I'm sharing my screen now. Let's see. That looks good to me. So first things first, the thing that kind of triggered this live scheme session was that I noticed that this little filter is here, and these supercharging receipts have just completely changed. And I'm actually in one of our multiple accounts that we manage here in the Bay Area. But effectively, I'm looking at this, and this is a whole new layout. It's much better. Specifically with this person, with these vehicles, these are 2021 models, and so they are currently qualified for the free supercharging. But I can actually go in there and see, and this is not something that was there before. I can see for my rental. So if I had a rental, let's just say from last week to this week, I can actually see the dates in the last 7 days of where that car charged, how much it charged, how long it charged. And I'm just over the moon about that, and that really makes it a lot easier for me as a host to like actually bill people back for their supercharging, how long they charge, their fees. You used to have to click into actually the invoice, and maybe I should. Let's see. Let's go look at that. Here's one that actually has actual invoices, and this is you used to have to click into here, open it up, and I have to log back in. Sorry, just because I was jumping around. Shoot. Let's see. Let's see if I can log back in easily. Let's just go back to this one. So anyways, you had to like actually go in into the invoice and you'd have to search for the VIN and collect all your receipts. So it wasn't a smooth process whatsoever. And now they're making it very smooth. And that's good. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't do it earlier, but the fact that they did it now kind of implies that they're more thinking about how people are car sharing. And then if you actually jump over to here, Green the Only just recently found that they're moving driver profiles online. And this is a big deal. Let's see if I can get it out here. So it's currently inactive, as Green calls out. It's currently only on engineering vehicles, but he's kind of calling out here that the global vehicle fleet is going to start pulling more and more details about driver profile data to actually make it more accessible for people when you're using someone else's car. So there's kind of multiple things here that lead me to believe that Tesla will actually start their own car sharing network. They're going to make it more smooth when you get in a car that isn't yours to make it feel like it's yours. It's going to remember your air conditioning settings, your seat position. I do wonder how they're going to vary that between moving in and out of an S or X to a 3 to a Y. I know each one has slightly different seating positions, at least when I use it, but I think there's a good chance here that it'll remember maybe all four, and so you could set your preference. If you jump from a 3 to a Y, it'll try to make an assumption about where you want it, but then it'll remember that car differently in the future. So that's huge. The fact that they're remembering in the cloud, they already store your key card in the cloud. So if you actually name your key card, which I don't think a lot of people do, so I'll just briefly share another thing. So this is my key card. Because I rent out multiple cars and I manage multiple cars, this key card actually can unlock, I think, like 6 or 10 cars. The unique thing about key cards is they are programmable. Basically, the car is the one remembering the code within this key card. And so it's not like a normal key fob where it provides a code and it authenticates that way. So you can have this assigned to as many cars as you want. I've made like TikToks about this. It's really cool because you just store this in your wallet, and then it's your backup, but it also can be your primary, and then your phone works as a key as well. And so you can, and I could see a future where if there's a Tesla network, which again I believe is coming potentially very soon, where you can share from your phone, either you can share out your car to someone and they can get phone access and key card access remotely because the car can remember it, or you could even just assign a key card, someone else's key card by name. You could personalize these and make them stored in the cloud by name, and again have that stored driver profile. So all this is kind of coming together where it's the best experience. And Tesla seems to be thinking about everything from your comfort within the car to your billing, your Supercharger billing. And so you can basically, fly to another state, land, get in someone else's car, and act like it's your car for the whole time. And Tesla may even be able to transfer the billing because if you're using Tesla's network, they'll do that. So for now, this is great for me because I'm able to transfer my Turo receipts more easily, more simply. But it does seem to imply, with everything that's going on, that they are thinking very much about car sharing, maybe robotaxi and all that. So I've got some kind of questions here, and I'm going to jump into it. So have you had any issues with customers renting damaged cars on Turo? Yes, minor, very minor, and we're kind of trying to look at that right now with the cars that we are sharing. So we have currently 6 cars that we're managing. We've been doing it for about, I'll just say, about 2 years now. And so the cars that we have, we've got mostly middle-of-the-road Teslas. We've got dual motor, non-performance, not the standard range, not performance, but Model 3s and Model Ys, all key card cars, because those are the cars I think are the best. And actually, that's the other thing that I want to call out in this, is that the Model S and X are going to be better than they've ever been for car sharing for 2 reasons. One, they now use the phone key and key card as their primary way of accessing the car. You can still get a key fob, which you could get for a Model Y or a Model 3, for example, but now that's going to be a phone key and a key card as well. And so that's a good thing. And then it also has the cabin camera. So as it relates to damage, with Teslas, they obviously have a whole bunch of cameras. They've got 3 cameras in the front facing forward, 2 on each side and 1 in the rear. And then the new camera that was just added is going to be the cabin camera. And that was already in the 3 from 2017. And now it's going to be an S and X with the refresh, with the new Model S and X. And so With those, you'll be able to, more accurately maybe monitor when your car is out on a trip. Right now, it's not really been an issue. With over 250 trips, I've had a few renters return the car dirty, but it's not, it's not vague who made the car dirty. It's obvious who made the car dirty. It was the renter, and they're responsible for it. But when you're dealing with more frequent turnover of cars, like with something like Getaround, you're more likely prone to damage. And I think Tesla's thinking about that with the cameras, with Sentry Mode, with Dash Cam, and now this internal camera. So it's going to be easier to view if someone did something wrong. And so maybe that camera will be turned on only when it's on the car sharing platform. But the point of this video is I think that Tesla is about to release a car sharing platform before the actual robotaxi network. And with FSD beta kind of rollout, kind of slow. Only about 25 people have openly talked about their access to it. I think the rest are probably all Tesla employees. And so what we're seeing is a slower rollout than expected. Tesla was supposed to roll out FSD broadly, at least the beta broadly, by the end of 2020. And so I think what we're seeing is steps towards robotaxi that also work for car sharing. And Tesla is seeing an opportunity to recognize some revenue by basically rolling out their partially autonomous, and with everything else that makes their cars great, you can access these semi-autonomous vehicles before they're fully autonomous, before they can drive themselves on the road. You're gonna be able to go to maybe parking lots and pick them up, and hopefully with stuff like this, with the way that they're billing it, hosts like myself will be able to share my vehicles on that upcoming network. So, anyways, this was just we got another question. So you think Tesla car sharing users will be exclusive to current Tesla owners? That's a good question. So I believe that we will, as current Tesla owners, be able to use the network. I also believe that there might be non-owners, people who just want to pay to use a Tesla car, and even then Tesla could store your data, store everything. They just need to send you a key card, and those key cards, by the way, they're $12.50. You can get a set of 2 of them on Tesla's website. Actually, here I can even show you. Forgot that I was sharing my screen still, but this is great. So I can show you they're just like $12.50. Let's see. Vehicle accessories, parts. Oh, it might even be under keys. But so, let's see. Sorry about that. Keys. Model 3 keys. So these things are cheap. They're secure, but they're cheap. It's $35, excuse me, for 2 of them. And it makes it so you can access any vehicle that it's been associated with. In the future, I think Tesla may be able to even alert their car, hey, by the way, this key card, it should have access, and then they can send that via the cloud, and then there you go, you're off and running. And so your phone is still your primary, but your key card that you keep with you, you keep in your wallet, like I do here in my Nomad phone wallet. It's just going to be that easy. So I think it's coming. I think it's coming pretty soon. I am so excited about it. I'm putting this video out there, but mostly because I want, if this happens in the next couple of days, which it very may well, I want this kind of on the record that I was thinking about it, that I saw that it could be coming very, very soon. So anyways, that's it for me. Really appreciate all of you for tuning in and for watching this video and for getting excited about this with me. We'll see soon if Tesla actually does do this. My guess is if it's happening, in the pre-robotaxi car sharing network, we'll probably see it happen in the next, I'd say 2 to 3 months. It might happen sooner than that, but I'll be looking for more evidence of a car sharing network, in all the code and in the code going out in version 11. Oh, that's the other thing. Version 11. Version 11 is coming soon. So yeah, I mean, again, with that internally facing camera, that could really change everything. They're thinking about key card in version 11. They're thinking about the internal facing camera. Version 11 could be it. So I should probably change the title of this video as it goes live, but version 11 could be really tied to a lot of this. And we could see an app update that we've been waiting on too. Oh, it's all happening. It's like I think there's a very good chance when version 11 launches, which will launch with the Model S and X, that we could see some type of car sharing network launch then. So that's the point of this video, is to share that I think that there's a chance that when S and X launch, because of the key card, because of the Supercharger receipts, because of all this, that we might see the car sharing network start, whether that's car sharing in like a Turo sense or robotaxi sense. I'm guessing we're probably not quite at robotaxi broadly, but we could see car sharing very soon from Tesla. And that's it. All right. I hope you guys have a good night. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya.